Here we have an iPad 6 that came in for possibly a charging port replacement. Let's read what the customer wrote. My iPad's charging port is very difficult to get connected. It takes a lot of wiggling. I have tried different cords and all do the same thing. So we know that we have a problem with the charging Flux cable, and the customer added that he also mailed another board, and it's true, he included another motherboard inside the box, and that's the A1893, and he wants the home button connector replaced. He already attempted to replace it himself, but then realized how difficult micro soldering was. But it's already too late. The customer inflicted a lot of damage on the home button connector area of the board, a lot of knocked off components and ripped pads. We're not gonna work on that board, and we're gonna focus on working on this one. So right now we're gonna focus on changing the charging Flux cable on this board. We're gonna desolder the cable and we're gonna solder a new one. I have a lot of videos doing the same exact job on different model iPads. But since that's what I have in my hand now, and I do not know if I'll be able to do another video today, let's go ahead and replace that charging Flux cable. Right now the cable is attached to 47 pads plus glue. So when we heat up to remove the cable, we have to differentiate between glue and solder. We do not want to pull too hard on the cable so we do not rip any pads, but we also have to put enough pressure to release the glue. What I'm going to do is apply low melt solder so we can lower the melting temperature of unleaded that's already on the board. And so that there's no risk in ripping pads off from under that Flux cable. Now all we have to do is heat up, and since we have low melt solder, we do not need to heat up a lot. I'll probably set my temperature at 380 degrees Celsius. And we're gonna pull up on the cable. And look at that. You may think, oh, ripped pads right here. No, those are not ripped pads. Your eyes are deceiving you. We got rid of that Flux cable like butter. And that's all because of low melt solder. Let's get rid of the glare. So as you can see, we have the board inside the board holder secured, and we're gonna desolder from those pads and then solder a new Flux cable. If you do not have the board secured inside the board holder, it's gonna wobble all over the place and make the job a lot more difficult. All right, beautiful. And now we're gonna solder our new charging Flux cable, which is right over here. And what we have to do is align the opening that you see on the right and left. Okay, so we need to align the cable like this. Some cables do not have this opening, but rather they have a clear window. Look at this. The connector is perfectly aligned, but all we need to do is just get the microscope in focus. Since I do not have 3 hands, I need to let go of one and focus that microscope right there. All right, we can let go. and apply solder like you've never seen before. A huge blob of solder like this. Just bombard this connector with solder. All right. Let's press down on the connector or on the Flux cable and go like this. And we want to be gentle. We do not want to break any of those pads. Okay, so we did an amazing job. We have more than enough solder on every pad. And that's it. We're gonna give this to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and I'll be back to finish the video. That's what we did right here. All right, so we reassembled the motherboard and we already tested. The tablet is fully functional, but I wanna test on camera so we can finish this video. Let's go ahead and plug the charging cable. And if we look at our charging station, the tablet is being charged at 5 volts and 2.2 amps. Awesome. And we do see the Apple logo. We also had to change the digitizer glass for the customer because his was cracked from the top left, and that's why we have the clamps. And for those of you wondering where you can buy the clamps from, you can find them on our site, as well as the low melt solder, tweezers, and everything else that we use on our bench here. Job is done. And the charging rate is 5 volts, 2.3 amps. Awesome. We're gonna end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.